Hello everyone, welcome to Upsala 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar and I'm with you on our platform of JIB CIB English Medium. Okay everyone, what are we going to talk about today? Today I'm going to talk about capital structures of a company. Companies are defined under Companies Act 2013. If you talk about the Companies Act definition of companies, it says that any organization which is registered under this act or any other act which was present before this, matlab 2013 act was there, but before 2013 even the act existed. I think we had it the last we edited it, or you can say we changed it altogether, was of 1956, but it was there even before that. So technically, when we define companies, companies is something which has been there in the specific world of this particular commerce from very long time. That means when we talk about one of the basic ones is East India Company. It's one of the oldest companies that exist in our country. How? Because this particular organization was created under charter. This is one of the most oldest, I would say, the oldest company, that is chartered companies. The companies which existed under the name of the Queen. So let's talk about the different types of capital. First of all, everyone, share the session, like this session, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. Let's go ahead and everyone check it out. When we talk about the capitals, there are two kinds of capital. One is equity and the other one is preference shares. If we talk about the broader perspective of the capital structure or the financial structure of an organization, it's way broader there. How is it different? First of all, we have equity. These are the true owners of the organization. Every risk belongs to them, every benefit belongs to them. That is equity. Then you have the debt. See, one is my own money and the money which I borrow from others so that it can work in a better way. Obviously, I don't have the money to take care of the entire organization every single time. Sometimes I really need help of other people. That is where debt hits in. So equity and debt, they're two extreme ends of the organization. And then we have something in between. See, that's called a hybrid security. Hybrid are basically the ones which have the benefits of the debts and the benefits of the equity. Here it is called the preference shares. Done, everyone? So this is what we're going to talk about. See, capital structure is exclusively about equity and preference shares. When we talk about debt, debt is something which I can say the money that we borrow from others as we fall short in our own funds. Let's talk about equity share capital. Equity share capital means the capital of the owner of the organization. How do we define owner? He's the person who gives money to the business. He gives rupees, and those rupees is converted into units. 100 units, 15 units, whatever the units would be. So every single unit has a specified amount. For example, if I say the total number of units are 10,000, 10,000 shares are there at the rate of rupees 10 each. That means I've got 1 lakh rupees. And I've got 1 lakh rupees as the specific area of equity share capital. So this is basically the capital which I've invested in the business. Sometimes they call it stock as well, but stock is basically the compiled form. Once you have received the entire money, it is converted into a bundle. That bundle, which is not no more a part of this 10,000, 8,000, the unit form, that is called stock. When we talk about equity share capital means the money which is invested by the true owners of the organization. One of the easiest way to talk about them is they're the residual owners. When the organization has paid off everything, the taxation, then they have paid the debts as well. The amount which is to be paid to every outsider is already done. Whatever is left after that goes to equity shares. So equity share capital is basically the people who get the residual amounts. So one of the best parts is you get the residual amount. If the company makes a huge amount of money, then the residual amount is definitely yours. All the surplus that the organization is getting. But there's one problem. What if the organization faces losses? Then the losses are also theirs. So basically, they are the true risk takers of the organization. Just because of this risk taking ability of these people, they are the only ones who have the voting rights in the organization. Simple reason, when these are the people who are putting their money on risk, they are putting their work on risk, so that is why they deserve, the equity shareholders deserve their voting rights. Okay, that is how we define the specific area of equity share capital. Number one, it represents ownership. It investors buy shares of the company. Number one, these people are buying the shares of the company. That means they are the true owners. Secondly, till the time the organization is alive, ideally equity share capital remains invested. So it provides a long-term funding. It is never, normally it is not repaid till the time the organization is alive. The day the organization is dying, then they get the money back. But reality, after making payments to all the people, normally nothing much is left. So equity shareholders do not get anything if the company is dying. Then it can be issued in different forms. Yes, we have different classes of equity shares as well. And yes, there are certain classes of preferred shares. Then comes influences company control. If you are the true risk taker, then obviously you have the right to take the voting rights with you. Nobody else has that right, because you are the one who has got his finances on stake, right? That's why. That's about equity share capital. Let's talk about the types of equity share capital. Number one, the maximum amount that you can raise from the public is called authorized capital. This is the maximum amount. This is also called nominal capital. This is also called nominal capital. And it is also called registered capital. Different names of equity share capital are these. Total shares of the company is legally allowed to issue. This is the maximum amount, and the permission that you get is from ROC, Registrar of Companies. The portion, see, you take a permission for the maximum amount, but obviously you will not issue all the amount at once. What will you do? You will basically issue a part of it. The money that you put in front of the public as an offering, key whether they want to buy the shares of the company or not, that is called issued capital. Shares actually sold to the investors. Next is subscribed capital. Once you basically offered shares to the people, that is issued, and the one which they took up is called subscribed capital. Once someone buys the share, then you have the right to call them up and say, sir, your pending amount. That is called called up capital, the portion of the capital which you call for the payment. And the payment when made, it is called paid up capital. Nowadays, because of demat accounts, there is no difference between called up and paid up, because now people are giving the entire money. Basically, if the share is of rupees 10 and I subscribed it, then I would pay the entire money at once. So there's no difference in called up and paid up capital. Earlier, there were these issues, and that is why they had two more terms. Sometimes people will pay, sometimes they will not. If they will not pay, it was called calls in arrears, and if they pay in advance, calls in advance. Because earlier the entire payment was not made altogether, they had different installments. Those installments had specific names. That is why now it is all given at once, so there's no need for those pending amounts, half paid, not paid. Now it is basically the entire amount is given at once. But at one point of time it existed, so these were the two terms: calls in arrears when the amount was pending, and calls in advance when we talk about the money which people paid in advance. And when we talk about equity shareholders, everyone, there's a certain part of equity shares capital which they do not take out of the business. The organization is supposed to pay them a specific amount of money as a dividend. Okay, they are supposed to get an amount which is called dividend. Now they will get dividend, but sometimes they are like, okay, let's not take the entire money out of the business. Let's keep some savings, which is basically retained by the business. That is why it is called retained earnings. When we talk about retained earnings, a part of this is basically undistributed profits, the profit portion which the people didn't take away, that is called undistributed profits. Then this is basically savings of the organization, so they can use as and when they want to. Then increases shareholders equity. The shareholder equity increases because once the more and more money is invested in the organization, your capital base is increasing. Capital plus this retained earnings is the entire shareholder funds. Last is subjected to corporate tax. Whenever the company is earning profits, now they have to pay tax. Even when they are giving dividends, they have to pay tax. So overall, retained earnings is the portion of the capital, the money which the shareholder was supposed to take back home, but he says let it stay in the organization itself. That is your retained earnings. Then second part is preference share capital. The interesting part is preference share capital talks about preference. These people have some importance over equity. Number one, these people have fixed dividend rate. They do not have the fluctuation like equity that whatever is left is theirs. No, they have specific rates which they are paid upon. Then comes priority in liquidation. When the organization is dying, before equity shares, these people are paid. And last is types of preferences. There are multiple types of preferences. We'll talk about them in some other class. So that's it for the day, everyone. We have learned about three things today: equity share capital, then we learned about the retained earnings, and last is preference share capital. Thank you so much for being there. We'll be meeting in the next session. Bye bye and take care.